Fly racing. Fly racing. Fly racing.
SMX Network production. This is the Fly.
SMX series kicking off. Brand new 3-race series, 2 20-minute motos for the 450 class. Charlotte, Chicago, LA Coliseum. Something new for our sport, something exciting for our sport. And, yeah, let's see how it turns out, man. Hybrid track. Like I said, 2 motos. Points are single, then they're doubled in Chicago and tripled in LA. And there's a bunch of money on the line for the teams and riders as well. So, yeah, SMX, man, catch the fever. Thank you for watching Fly Racing Moto 60. Thank you for listening as well. 702-586-7857. If you want to talk SMX racing or more, we are giving away a pair of 100% goggles, a set of kinetic mesh gear from the folks at Fly Racing, and I have 2 pairs of tickets courtesy of Namira for this weekend's race in Charlotte. Yeah, it's that easy, man. You just got to give us a call, 702-586-7857. Taking your calls over there, holding things down. Probably missing a golf game today, which is really, really sad. The Tits Legendary Tits, what's up?
I'm glad to be here, Steven.
Oh, thanks for coming in, buddy.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate it. Controlling the cameras over there on what you see, the Travis Marks. Hi, Marks.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Oh, good. Thanks
Excited to be here.
Thanks for coming in. Let's bring the A game today,
we're gonna
guys.
have a great show.
Let's bring the A game. Let's do this. Let's rally. SMX.
I'm chubbing right now.
Absolutely. Love it. Fly Racing USA, everybody. Check them out, flyracing.com. On the web, the Formula S helmet. It's a helmet with a brain. And I'm not overstating things when I say that the Fly Racing Formula S could save your life. Read up all about it. It's got a built-in GPS tracker into the helmet. Get the app. It'll alert authorities if you need to. It'll give you some stats on the helmet, on your crashes, on your riding, all of that. Really exciting stuff from the folks at Fly Racing. And, of course, they've moved the BOA closure system around a little bit on the Evo line and on the Light line as well. So they've made some improvements on that. Of course, mountain bike stuff they have as well, personal watercraft, all of it. Fly Racing USA. RJ Hampshire, Jalik Swoll, a couple of riders wearing Fly Racing, among others. And also, too, thank you to the folks at Maxxis Tires, mountain bike tires, dirt bike tires, soft to intermediate terrain tires are available. Intermediate to hard terrain tires are available now, developed and worked with Jeremy McGrath as well. Shop.maxxis.com. Grip, stability, and predictability that surpasses all others. Please check it out, maxxis.com. Thank you to those guys for coming on board, as well as Get. We've had Dan Truman on here a lot, right? And he knows the stuff from Get is really good. The Honda HRC boys are running it on the 250 and the 450 team. Of course, Get ECUs and CDI boxes are taking over Europe as well. So thank you to the folks at Get for coming on board with us. If you want a discount from Get and Athena, email us using the contact form on PulpMX. We'll pass that on. I think they have stock now of the EFI two-stroke stuff that apparently really, really needs an upgrade in the CDI boxes, and the folks at Get can dial you in with that. And again, factory Honda using it, so you know that stuff works pretty damn good because they're having a pretty good season, as you can tell. And will they keep it going with Jet Lawrence and Chase Sexton at the SMX races? The Magic 8 Ball says yes. I'd like both those riders' chances to come away with some wins here. And Jet's undefeated streak, does it keep going or not? 22 for 22 in outdoors, and can he go 6 for 6 in the SMX series? Absolutely looking forward to it. 702-586-7857. Give us a call. Why don't you? And we'll see what we can do with giving some stuff away and talking some SMX and more. With me to talk SMX, first up, He is the voice of the Outdoor Series. He's at the Charlotte Speedway right now, I believe. It's Jason Weigandt. What's up, Weege?
Yeah, that's right. I'm here. I'm standing right by the starting gate at ZMAX Dragway. I just wanted to see what the hell this was going to look like.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait until Friday, so we came over, myself and Mitch Kendra, a Racer X, are here just cruising around, shooting some photos, etc. Yeah.
Okay, so what's your role for the weekend? What are we doing? Are you working a desk? Are you working a panel? Are you in the booth? What are we doing?
I'm in the booth, man. I'm in the booth for the first two. Lee Diffie is going to take round 3. I think I'll be at a desk or something like that for that one.
Okay.
So, no, it's, me, Carmichael, and Stu in the booth, and Will Christian on the ground, and then some other guy who used to race. He's kind of short, and he used to race, and he'll also be part of the show.
Not familiar at all. But, good, cool. Because I didn't know, I guess maybe I should have asked you on a text at some point. But last time I think I talked to you, your role was kind of unknown. You weren't exactly sure. But that's good. Yeah, booth. Yeah.
Like a lot of things with SMX, I think everybody's been 95% sure of a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty sure back then, but I wasn't going to say anything until anybody else did.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Yep. Should be fun. That means that when you're in the booth, you won't be hanging out with us leeches in the press box at ZMAX. So.
Yes and no, because, I've never technically been in the booth for Supercross. There's actually less for me to do because we have the regular race day live show from Supercross coming back, and that's Dan Hubbard and, again, some other guy named Ryan Villapoto.
Oh,
he's going to be the analyst.
Yeah.
So he's better. Well, I will say this. The Ryan Villapoto guy's got to be better than the old analyst, Daniel Blair. He's got to be better
than him. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it.
Right. So during that whole show, I guess I'm just going to be watching. So maybe I'll come over to the press box with you during practice.
All right. Sounds good. What are you? Look, you've drank the Kool-Aid. I get it. You love this thing. You and JT,
World
SMX.
Steve.
I know.
World Championship. $5.5 million.
The next time I see a great race on a hybrid track will be the first time. So that's my opinion. I don't know if this track's going to work. I'm cautiously optimistic for this whole thing. I think the 2 shorter main events, but yet longer than a Triple Crown, will be good because sometimes in those Triple Crowns, it's kind of over before it starts, right? So this is a nice little hybrid between the longer main motos and the shorter Triple Crown things. What are you most excited for, though? What are you most looking forward to seeing?
I'm actually most looking forward to seeing how into it the riders and teams are. I agree with you. Motocross tracks and supercross tracks are what they are for a reason. I haven't seen hybrid tracks work very well either. I'll say the closest I ever saw to a hybrid track that actually turned out decent was actually here, but next door. And that MXGP here at this facility in 2017, whatever year that was.
Yeah.
That was actually next door at their dirt track. I thought it was going to race horribly, and it actually worked. That was the closest I've ever seen. Now, that has nothing to do with this because that's 100 feet away from where this track is. But to me, what could make this work, I agree, a motocross track and a supercross track, you're better off with either or, not some of both. For example, they won't have whoops in these tracks. I believe the teams didn't want whoops because they were like, well, how are we going to set up somewhat motocross stuff, but also set up a bike for whoops? But, whoops often lead to passing and separation, and you might not get that. But what can overcome all that is, I think, we keep thinking hybrid tracks as in off-season races. You and I talked to Marvin Muscan this week about Monster Cup. People were half in, half out, some not prepared, some not caring. I believe the riders and teams actually care about this, actually want to win. It's not an off-season vacation. It's real, and I'm hoping that is what actually makes this work.
Yeah. Okay. Split start looks interesting for sure. How long are lap times? Do you have an idea? Do we know? What are they going for? What are they shooting for?
Yeah, I don't know. What if I just walked over here and asked somebody? Your guy JT on your fantasy show seemed to know. What did he say? Like a minute and a half? Did he just make that up?
I don't know where he got that from. Yeah, half the time he just.
I really think he just made that up. It's going to be long, but they are going to be going faster than a Supercross.
Yeah.
But it is significantly bigger than a Supercross track. Like significantly.
Yeah.
They've got an unbelievable amount of dirt to work with here, so they can kind of build whatever they want. But they're, some of the obstacles aren't going to slow them down to the same degree. I'm going to keep walking around and maybe I'll find somebody.
Okay.
I can answer the lap time thing.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure one of the dirt jerks are around there, right? They should have an idea.
Yeah, they're around somewhere. I can never tell who's like tough block crew, who's track crew.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Jet Lawrence. I don't know if you saw that, undefeated in the outdoors. And
Did not see that. No.
incredible. Yeah. I mean, honestly, we were setting our handicaps for our fantasy league, and we had a bit of a spirited debate about Jet and Chase. In the end, we decided to make them the same handicap because I think we just thought shorter races, more chaos. Chase has been really close to Jet numerous times as outdoors. I feel like it's a coin flip for those two, or do you think Jet is the favorite here?
Yeah, to me, we've been trying to invent reasons all along to think that someone could beat Jet. And again, as I said 1,000 times, not because we want Jet to lose, but because you want to go every race believing there's some unpredictability. We're not sure.
Yeah.
So, it was, well, wait till Ferrandis is going to get his bike better, and Sexton's out, and he's going to get better, and Barsha's going to come back, and Anderson's going to come back, and hey, Tomac's not even here, and this track's maybe not the best for Jet. He has never won a moto at Washougal. We tried everything, man. And in the end, he freaking won every race. Mm-hmm. So from now on, I'm just going to keep picking until there's some data that says I shouldn't. I know that, for example, Sexton was kind of insinuating at Ironman, like, I can't wait to get Supercross suspension back in the bike. And he's going to tell himself that, of course. He's the Supercross champ. He's not going to be like, well, he beat me today, and I got no shot of ever beating him again. But to me, we've tried every bit of window dressing on this Jet is really good thing, and it always comes out looking the same, him winning. So I agree on the fantasy handicap that I guess the margin of error is close enough where, yeah, I wouldn't put one ranked ahead of the other, but if you maybe pick one name, I'm going to pick the guy I just watched go 22-0.
I think it'll be interesting, too, and I don't know if it will totally work out, but Chase is 5 points up on Jet. So come LA Coliseum, I wonder if that 5 points, wouldn't that be something? Sexton wins the SMX title by 3 points over Jet Lawrence, and it's all because he raced all year to get the 5 point advantage, Well,
I actually think most people involved would hope that happens because, where some of these other motorsports series have kind of gone wrong is they put all the chips in for the playoffs. They didn't reward the regular races enough. And I think traditional fans don't want to hear that the race they've gone to their entire life is no longer as important as it was. So I think anything that keeps emphasis on, hey, man, he was racing Anaheim 1 in a 450 and Jet Lawrence wasn't, and there's a reward for that. I think everybody involved, I don't even think even the racers will be bummed on that. So I almost hope that the seeding does end up making a difference. Unfortunately, I think if you had told these guys that somehow Jet's going to end up number 3 without even having raced Supercross, they'd be like, actually, there's not a big enough advantage. But, I think with the double and triple points, it negates some of that. But 5 points is a lot in a 3-round series.
Yeah. We'll recap this thing at the end of it and talk about the positives, the negatives, changes, etc. I mean, don't forget the Feld guys made some pretty drastic changes to the Triple Crown lengths after year 1, so there's always room for improvement, and we'll see what works and what doesn't, like I said. But early on, the whole qualifying procedure seemed to not really matter in the end because of our nature of our sport and some team changes and things like that, they're pretty much going pretty far deep looking to fill out the field. Yeah.
This is the odd. Here's how you know this is not the traditional off-season event. Normally, you have no problems getting the privateers to show up if you dangle a little bit of money on the line. They're going to be there. What you miss is half or so of the factory guys, and then even when they do show up, they're in half levels of carrying. This race has turned out to be the opposite. Somehow, of the top 20 in each class, we got 38 of the 40. The only guys who are injured are Chance Hymas and Eli Tomac. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody else is here. All the factories are committed. They're racing pretty much every guy they have. Like, Pro Circuit's even bringing Mumphy back because he was 16th overall.
Yep.
What I don't understand is the privateers are just saying no. And, Steve, I even went this far. I even went to Kawasaki's contingency page because Cowie pays contingency. That's why most of those privateers ride Cowie. It's exactly the same. Same pay here as it is for a regular race. So somebody tell me why, at a regular Supercross, they're sold out in entries. Privateers are killing themselves to get in the night show, killing themselves and anyone else to get into the main event. And then here they get a phone call for the same contingency and a bigger purse and say no.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm with you. It's bizarre, some of these guys, because there is money in the LCQ, so you don't need to make the main, to get paid, all that stuff. There's good money, and you can sneak into the main event.
Yeah, I believe it's 20. It's like 2,300, I think, for the best placing guy who doesn't make the main, and I think the minimum is like 1,100. So like the last place dude, the worst you can do is get $1,000.
Yeah.
The worst you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand. It's not like a regular Supercross pays you $10,000 for last.
No,
it's no different.
You're doing the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then at the top end, there's way, way, way more money to be made. I don't get it. So yeah, the fact they had to say they're going to take top 30 and go to like guys in the 40s to just find 9 willing. Here, you know what? Here's my only theory. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Do these dudes who we know are in the LCQ every week, in this format, they're guaranteed they have to race the LCQ every week. Do these guys actually think for every Supercross they show up, this is the week I'm getting into the heat?
I don't think so. But I mean, I don't know. Some of these guys you wonder, Yeah.
They're like, well, wait, is a guaranteed LCQ? I don't want to deal with that. Like, do they think in a normal weekend that's not going to happen? We know it's the same dudes in the LCQ every weekend.
I'm with you, man. Absolutely. I agree. Yeah. Jason Weigandt here on the Fly Racing Moto 60 Show. Thank you to Decal Works. PulpMX 23 is the code to save with Decal Works, Red Bull KTM, Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Off-Road Team. Using Decal Works, PulpMX 23 is the code to save. They even make Weigandt graphics, everybody. The guys at Decal Works, they've done a good job, and it comes quickly. It comes exactly how you want. You'll see a proof beforehand. They'll put all your logos on, all of that stuff. All right, let's go to some phone calls here.
Anyone want to come to my house this weekend while you're at the race and put graphics from Decal Works on my kid's YZ65? I would be very, very appreciative.
And we have 2 pairs of tickets, by the way, for Charlotte to give away on this show as well. First up, Brent's got a question about the broadcast. Brent, there's no better person to ask about the SMX broadcast than the man on the line.
And that's why I called in. Hey, guys, appreciate what you guys do. Love the show. Love all the things you do.
Thank you.
But I got a question. The last time we were on NBC, we had James, Ricky, Weege, everybody on the broadcast. It seemed like we saw nothing but talking and not racing. And I know the SMX is, they're going to hype it up and do all these things. Can we focus on the motocross and not just all the tidbits of talking?
I don't know what you mean. Like, did we not show laps of the racing?
No, you did, but it was like Ricky on the patio throwing it back to JT, and then you pit reporters. Like,
yeah, that thing. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
That actually came from, and I think we pretty much had him in a box of the corner most of the time. If you watch some of NBC's other coverage of other motorsports, they've been doing that more and more. Like, let's get the guys into an area the fans have never seen before, get them behind the scenes, try to show them something they don't know about, or that's what that is attempting to be. I believe here we're just in the booth the whole time. We're not doing that. But yeah, I see what you mean in that case, yes. And I'm just telling you why they did that. A lot of it came from, they had a couple of street races in NASCAR this year, and they're like, why put all the guys in a booth? Have a guy in each turn, have this guy be down at the park where they have a turn around a park, and there's another area where they're driving past some stores, have a guy down there. They were trying to give that feel for motocross, like, hey, this gravity cavity is nuts, or the wall, which according to Unadilla has always been the name of that section. It's never had another name, according to the track. Get JT over there to, like, show the scale of it. So that's why we did that. I don't think we're doing that here, but yeah, I'm just telling you why we did it, and I don't think it's part of this. Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Brent. Appreciate it. Yep. Yeah, sometimes it can get to be just too many people have too many things to say, not enough time. There is that over analysis.
I do want to give credit. It's like you don't realize it as you're seeing it. When we had the events on NBC this year, they gave us both motos commercial-free on NBC. And let me tell you, to go 34 minutes without a commercial on NBC, I don't know if that ever happens.
Yeah.
So they're trying to give you as much racing as they can. It's like when you don't see a commercial, you don't think about, hey, I didn't see a commercial. Mm-hmm. You only notice when you do. So I do want to give a little credit there.
Right. All right. Yep. We got Justin on one. What's up, Justin?
Hey, guys. Hey, Steve. I just had a quick question. Is the PulpMX app updated yet?
I don't believe so. Marks, is there anything?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He doesn't know. We don't know.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. I was the first time I heard that mentioned was my daughter was born, and she just celebrated her 17th birthday.
Okay, yep,
So I just
fair enough.
wondered,
Thank you.
if there was an update yet. So
yeah, still working on it, Justin. Yeah, the people are still working on it in the back. A lot of ins and outs to do the app.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
a lot of ins and
All
outs.
right.
Okay, yeah, the people need it. But here's a little bit of a fantasy question. If Jet ever gets out of a Honda contract or wants to get out at some point, does he become the highest paid Supercross motocross athlete of all time, with somebody else picking him up or Honda paying him more to keep him? What do you guys think?
Well, it's a good
if we ever get
question.
into that
Yeah, I mean,
scenario?
I would imagine Sexton's deal for KTM is now the biggest one right now, but I think Jet's got another year to go on his Honda deal. I don't know if the money is as high as the RC Reed days, but I feel like for Jet it would be. Weigandt, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, I think it can get there.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think, and We Went Fast just had the whole story about how much RC was making, and I don't think anyone's there right now. But there's a couple factors. Yeah, if he continues this level of dominance, I could see other, as a 450 rider, I could see other teams taking a big swing. And let's not also forget, we have these other teams coming in. What about the Ducati thing? Like the Ducati, we somewhat heard that there might even be not just Triumph, but Ducati. You could instantly make yourself a player if you're willing to just pay a dude $8 million a year. So that I believe it will get there because he'll have so much leverage because we'll have more teams than ever bidding.
Yeah, I think it should be interesting, Justin. I think his next deal will be the biggest one. Yeah. So
Right.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
Well, when is the contract due? Over.
I think it's one more year, if I believe right. Weege?
One more.
Do you remember?
End
Weege?
of 24 is what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I thought I heard.
I've gotten that wrong before, so
Okay.
I don't know either way.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, Justin, but I believe that's it. But I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, thank you, man.
All right.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you want a pair of tickets for this weekend's race in Charlotte, give us a call, 702-586-7857. We'll give the next caller 2 pairs of tickets. Brandon's on 3. He wants to know if Webb is racing this weekend. Yes. And that'll take me to my next question, Brandon. We won't put you on the air. But, yes, Cooper Webb will be there. Weege, what Cooper Webb are we going to see? This is probably the most interesting storyline back on Star Yamaha. What do you think he's just a factor right away? I'm not saying winning, but, in top 3 guy, leading laps, all that stuff right away.
Yeah, I actually do. My big question about this was what was his level of preparedness, and I think you and I, as kind of insider guys, knew he had been riding the Yamaha for a long time. Since that KTM deal ended. I guess the deal was he can't be seen racing it or riding it in public, but that doesn't mean he's not allowed to ride it. I mean, that was Redbud weekend. So you go back to, or around Redbud, I think right after Redbud, that week after. So, dude, that's 2 months. That's all of July. That's all of August. So I think he's way more ready than we think. I don't think this is being framed as a feeling out the bike, seeing how it goes, preparing for next year. I was really encouraged to hear that. And, rare that you get a race like this that's somewhat during the season and a guy switches teams. This is normally Anaheim when this happens. So I'm all in on it. I think from what I've heard now, I think it's super legit. It's not, I only rode the bike for a weekend. I'll see you in Anaheim and I'll really be ready then.
Yeah. Yeah, some stuff dropping tomorrow. Yeah, some stuff dropping tomorrow about this.
Yeah. He sounds like he's ready. From what I've heard, not from him. He'll talk about it. We got a press conference tomorrow, and he'll be doing a ton of media. But I think he's been riding. And JT and I have had this great debate on does this type of track work for him or not. JT thinks it does because it doesn't have whoops. I think his specialty is more technical, tight, and outsmarting people as tracks break down. And I don't know if these tracks are going to do that. But whatever, I guarantee you this. He's definitely fired up. He's definitely hungry. He's got that dog in him.
Yeah, he
that
does.
Might mean something.
It'll be interesting. I think he'll be out to make a point to prove. KTM told him, hey, man, this isn't working out. Just stay home. We'll pay you and stay home. And, I can think of Mike Craig. I can think of Davey Millsaps. I can't think of too many other factory riders that were just told to stay home, So that's
how – it wasn't going that atrociously bad outdoors. I mean, he was almost second, third. He was third in points. He was almost second in points. And whatever, there's a whole half a season to go.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he beats Jet, but, he was probably going to improve, I think. So anyway, that's a pretty harsh way to go out.
Yeah.
The reason I want to talk about that is I thought the whole time, Webb pulled the plug again, but I guess he did not pull the plug. They pulled it on him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Weege, we have a question about flagging, and there's no better guy to talk about that.
True.
Logan, what's up, man? What's your flagging question?
What's going on?
Hey.
That's exactly right. I called in. I wanted to talk to the
Thank
best
you.
flagger in the world. JT or Weege is prestigious, known for his flagging worldwide.
Well,
but
we
here's
don't
the
really
deal.
know. Nobody really knows if he was a flagger for sure. There's no photos. There's no sort of documentation. There's one guy who said, "Yeah, I remember you flagging. We were flagging buddies," and that's it. So
No, the guy who paid me verified. The guy who paid me is in cash, so I don't have a paper trail, but
right.
for IRS purposes. Yep.
Well, listen, I'm local. I want to know if Weege can hook me up, and maybe we can flag together at the SMX round.
That's not a bad idea because, as I just told Steve here, during qualifying, I'm available. During the afternoon, or really the morning, I think bikes are on track at 9:20 a.m. on Saturday. Technically, I think my job is to just watch. So maybe we can make ourselves a few extra bucks, maybe get a free T-shirt, maybe even a lunch.
Mm-hmm.
I'll scope out a section right now where I think there's going to be some danger, and I'll try to go to the opposite area, make it easy. And because one time I had to pick up a bike on the elevator jump, as we called it at Englishtown, and it wasn't pretty. Burned my hand on a pipe. I mean, some sacrifices that we're willing to make.
What the
So I
greats
like
have to do.
talk them.
Yeah.
I would furlough the payment for a free T-shirt. Just tell me where to go. I will flag for free.
We'll just take free. Oh, yeah. No, look, we have enough complaints about flaggers. I don't want to drive down the market rate, which I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Someone's going to be like, I heard them after the show. They're just working for a free T-shirt. I can't let that get out.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Logan, you want
Take
a pair
the money.
Logan, you want a pair of goggles? Or
yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. Stay online, man. We'll give you a set of 100% goggles. All right.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right. No problem. Thank you. Good luck in your quest for flagging with Weege, Logan. And also, thanks to folks 100%. Pulp 30 is the code to save 100%. Jet Lawrence, 100%. Goggle athlete, Star Racing guys, 100%. You'll see Cooper Webb wearing 100% on his return to Star Yamaha this weekend. Whether it's goggles, whether it's the mountain bike protection gear, whether it's casual wear, Pulp 30 is the code to save at 100%.com. Thank you to those guys. They have a generation of racers asking the original tagline, how much effort do you give? Thank you to the folks at 100%. Weege, I can really... So, like, Jet and Chase we covered. Webb's going to be eager to make a splash. But seriously, could you not just see the gate dropping for the first 450 SMX round and Ken Roxon just gets the whole shot and takes off with it? And we all just sit there and go, oh, yeah, right, Kenny Roxon, great rider. Right, yeah, got it.
Oh, yeah. I really feel like so many parts of this really worked for him.
Yeah.
Short series. The guy always comes out firing in the first race of anything, including this year outdoors. He comes into one race.
Right.
You know, Steve, he was the only guy to be fast qualifier over Lawrence all year.
Yes.
Kenny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So stuff like that's just, I don't know why he starts so hot and then often tapers off, but there's only 3 races. I think he's probably been bored and has got something to prove. Not in like an anger way. I don't want to read into I know he had a Twitter rant one day. I don't think he's here to like, I got to kick Jet's ass to show the world who. I don't believe any of that.
Yeah,
but I think he's just like when Anderson and Barsha came back for the outdoors. They told him the main reason they come back is they're like, dude, I hate watching it. I want to be in it. So Roxon's got that. I totally agree. And even though Jet and Chase on paper might be the best 2 guys in a short series, you're just one dumb thing happening, and they're just out of contention. And you know, it doesn't really matter what it's like on paper. If you're in the window, which Roxon definitely is. If he's the best guy, I don't know. But if you're in contention in a 3-race series, any of those guys can win it. Why not Ken Roxon?
I could just see Kenny winning the first moto of the first SMX.
Sure.
Yeah, and just being like going 1-3 on the night, and all of us go, yeah, look at Kenny. Look how he's great. He's a great rider. You know?
Also, I had just thought of this. You know, this is a different track, and, I mean, he's just so good at that. Anything early, first lap, learning a section, learning a new style of track. His versatility, he's so quick to figure things out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's a factor too.
Yeah, absolutely. I could see that happening. And then, of course, you know, we'll have our favorites, and the guys will be lining up. And it should be a great race. I'm with JT in a sense of with no whoops. There's going to be passing's going to be hard to do. Starts are going to be very important. And, you know, all of that kind of favors Jet and Kenny and maybe even Chase a little bit, although Chase has to stay away from some mistakes. So, you know, that'll be the same story that you guys will be pumping up all broadcast long. Weege, before we let you go here, I need your winners. I'll talk to you in a second. But Team USA, supposed to be announced tomorrow is what I kind of heard through the grapevine, only now not going to be introduced
I believe
tomorrow.
It's not going to be announced.
And
I believe we won't find out this weekend. It'll go to next week.
I tweeted out, anybody wants to ride for Team USA, please call the AMA. It's kind of fun. I mean, I guess it's not funny, but it's comical what's been going on. Look, it's not all of it's not on DeCoster or the teams. It's sort of a potpourri of changing teams, SMX series, injuries. Like it's a whole thing.
It's something odd. It is true. It's a whole thing. But the odd thing to me is the one thing I'm hearing that has messed up the works here is that, I think we all know Deegan is the favorite to be on the 250. He was the, top placing American rider in this series that can do it. Justin Cooper cannot. He's getting married that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And Cooper Webb wants to. And for whatever reason, I'm just hearing Yamaha's not into it this year. So that's not SMX, I don't think. It's not team switching. I don't know what it is. So once you lose that, and I don't know what their reason is, and I don't want to speculate because it could be a million things. Like maybe it's Sexton can't race because he's switching teams, so they're like, unless we have the best team, we don't want to do it. Maybe it's not on them. Like 3 other things happened that made them say, we're out.
Yeah.
But that's really the crux of it. It's just odd because we've had many years where you don't get every single guy you want, but to have this many people bow out is pretty extreme. I think very rarely, actually, we have the 3 best guys. Somebody's hurt, somebody's not available, but this year to have this many people turn it down, I don't get it. And like I said, Yamaha probably has a reason. I don't know what that reason is because they always do support it, but they're not. I heard they're just not doing it.
Yeah, and, I mean, the people I talk to close to that situation just say the cost. They don't want to spend the money, and I'm like, but you spend the money every other year. What's going on? Like, what?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, but at the same time, I know you agree with them. You've been ranting about the cost.
Oh yeah.
For 15 years.
Yeah, absolutely. I get it, and we tried to have a golf tournament, things like that, to help things out. It's just, I think I mean, look, I'm on an island, but I say don't go until in front helps out. I'm on an island with that thing, but there's one person making a lot of money at this race, and there's not one person, one organization making a lot of money at this race, and there's a lot of organizations spending a shit ton to go. That doesn't make sense,
Yeah, what really hurts here is the onus, because it's national pride. The onus is always going to go to the athletes and or the teams who say no. They're going to get all the grief for not going.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's a great shield. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So the promoter never has to take the heat for that. Right now, someone's probably listening to us and saying, like, Yamaha, what? Why would you do that? And they're not like saying, well, Yamaha is a obvious reason. I mean, I think we've talked to Coy Gibbs back in the day when JGR went. I think Bobby Regan. I think they say it's sometimes around $20,000 to $30,000 per rider. If they were to end up with 2 guys, that's $50,000, $60,000 that the team would have to earmark for this. Yes, they've done it before, but that's not a joke.
No, and we have 3 new races on the budget. So, and we're hearing some teams are getting riders to pay them to go to these 3 races. It's not been budgeted. It's not been worked out. And I shake my head at that. But the bottom line is it does seem for some teams these 3 extra races are causing an issue.
Not who you think, not the full factories.
No.
No, because I've even heard, there is purse money at every race that these guys are in.
Yeah.
And it's already in the deal. Like Chase Sexton's Honda contract says he keeps the purse money. And whether it's $5,000 or $50,000 or $500,000, he keeps it. So I don't want people to go crazy and think that the factories are forcing Justin Barcia to race this weekend so they can steal a couple $100,000 from him. But yes, as you get further down the chain and people are like, do we want to put Diesel in that semi or not? I'm sure that could eventually happen, or maybe it already is. Not the top level.
No.
The factories are super duper all in on this, and you can see that with the rosters.
Yeah.
But when it comes to donations, I'm totally confused. And my joke, I was inside the AMA rig today, and I said, what has required more phone calls to get riders? Filling out the 30-man gates in this or donations? And Devin Simonson is the last guy in for this in the 450 class for SMX. And I said, did you just say you want to do both? Are we down to that? Are we down to just did Simonson go to Europe a little bit?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Was doing MX2 a little
perfect.
bit. Yeah, it's It's not been good that way for sure, but we do have this 3-race series to talk about, which is really, really exciting, I think. And I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm a cynic by nature. I'm a cynical human being.
Oh, really?
Yes, I am. So there's things that I'm watching. I've got one eye on, but overall, I'm excited to see how this thing plays out. So give me your winners, both classes.
I don't want to make it super simple here, so I'm gonna go Cooper Webb just to really shake things up.
Oh wow, yeah.
I'll shake things up with him, and go with Jolique Swole to win 250s. How about that?
Jesus. Okay. All right.
Good starter. Good starter.
He is a good starter.
Yeah. Yep.
You're right about that. All right, Weege. Well, we will see you there tomorrow for riding and Fan Fest, and you're even going to try, no promises, but you're going to try to make the live show at 10 Cycles Honda tomorrow night, 7 p.m. So, yeah.
Who knows, man? It's a heartbreaker that this happened. Great to our man Justin Brayton to do it, but yes, I have official obligations. Steve, I have to wear a coat and tie on Saturday.
Holy
that's the level.
smokes.
That's the level we're operating on this weekend. Okay.
Well, that would eliminate me. That would eliminate me from having any role in the SMX broadcast. That would just eliminate me.
I did give it a shot this morning. I'm like, do I still know how to tie this? And still got it, baby.
Nice. Thanks for the time today, Weege. Appreciate it. See you tomorrow, buddy.
Yep. Bye.
See you. That's Jason Weigandt, everybody. We're still we gave away both tickets for the race this weekend. We gave away the goggles. We have a set of Fly Racing Kinetic mesh gear as well coming up here to a lucky caller. Hey, if you're looking to purchase a home in 2023, if you're a first-time buyer or investor, if you got a vacation home like Tits Legendary, Plum Creek Funding has programs to suit your needs. If you already own a home looking to pull a cash out, contact a professional with over 25 years of experience. PlumCreekFunding.com, PLUM creekfunding.com. They're now also licensed in Arizona, and they have direct access to 12 other states as well. Reach out to Zach at plumcreekfunding.com, and please, they'll dial you in. All right. Our next guest on the phone here on the Fly Racing Moto 60 show, flyracing.com. He's from Stasek. He's been a regular on this show or in studio. Charles Castloo. What's up, Chuck? How are you, man?
What's up, Steve? I'm good.
How's things at Stasek?
Good. Really good.
You guys just introduced a new bike or something, I saw? What was that?
Yeah, we did a team edition model in our 20-inch size bike. Just like some unique components and kind of like upgraded stuff, new look. And,
all right. I'm not a big
serious rippers out there.
Yeah, I'm not a big kid guy, so I don't really know. I don't follow the kid stuff. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and the weight limit's a little low for an adult, so it's outside of your range.
It is. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on. Hey, look, you're in the industry. You're sitting up there in Texas. The motocross series is wrapped up. Like, I'm just kind of interested as a guy that's a fan of the sport, but you're also, you know everybody and everything in the industry. Where are you at for these SMX races? Like, what's the excitement level?
I'm excited for them. I mean, it's motorcycle, dirt bike racing on TV in a time in which we wouldn't normally be able to watch racing.
Okay,
on TV, so
all right. So it's that simple for you. Yeah, it's that simple.
Yeah, I'm into it. I'm probably equally excited as I would be 2019 Monster Cup or whatever the last year is we did Monster Cup. Right?
Okay.
Like, yeah, cool. Want to watch some racing. It's whatever. Maybe it has a little more excitement than that just because there is some points factor to it. And truthfully, it's, new riders, Webb on a new bike and, Jet in a 450 class. All those things that are still new to us is exciting. So I'm into it. Truthfully, if it was like a week later, or if it was on Sunday competing with football, it probably wouldn't be so interesting. But Saturday, I'm into it.
Okay, so not Anaheim 1 level, but also not.
No.
Yep.
No, and probably not even opening round of outdoors level, but somewhere better than normal Monster Cup, but behind that stuff.
Okay, 2 20-minute motos for 450s, single points, double points, triple points. What hybrid tracks, what are you interested in? And what are you kind of like, that doesn't matter?
I'm interested to see how the hybrid tracks work out because, you've been vocal that they never really work out like everybody hopes and thinks. So I'm interested, I guess cautiously interested, to see how it pans out. Fingers crossed it turns out better than it has in the past. More points for the second race and triple for the third race, all that stuff. Like until it plays out and we see if it really affects anything, I'm not too excited about it.
Right.
Not negatively or positively.
Yeah,
but
just like whatever.
If we go into the third one and we're going into the second moto of the third race in LA and there's some sort of variation that makes it where that's really important now because it's triple points, and then awesome. But I don't see it happening. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see, I think, if that really is a difference or not.
Right. Do you because passing is going to be tougher because they're going to be easier tracks, no whoops. Starts are going to be, pretty important, shorter races. Do you anticipate upsets? Like, do you like Roxon or Webb or say even a wild card like Levi Kitchen? Somebody like, do you think we're going to see upsets with this format, or is it going to be, hey, look at Jet and Chase, and hey, look at Hayden Deegan and Hunter Lawrence?
I don't see a whole lot of upsets, really, even though, like you said, the tracks will be fast and they'll probably be pretty easy, but it's still 20 minutes plus a lap, right? Or two laps.
Plus a lap.
So it's long, right? Like it's plenty of time. I would assume lap times are going to be up there. So I think there's enough time for guys to make their way to the front, the good guys. And then as we see in Triple Crowns and stuff, there's two motos for it to work out. Like overall, I bet it ends up being what we expect. Now, maybe there's some variances in the motos and guys get in there here and there, but then they don't back it up for the other moto type thing. And I bet at the end of this, we look up and we're like, yeah, it's Jet and Chase. And,
right.
Hunter and Hayden. And it's sort of all the cream rises to the crop, right?
Yeah. I think I'm kind of with you a little bit, right? Whether it's an SMX race or two barrels on a flat, straightaway, like the cream is going to rise to the top,
Yeah, if super short races or something that somebody could get a start and hold on, that's one thing. But there's enough time for the good guys to do what they do and make their way to the front, right?
Right. Two LCQ riders that I'm interested in, Chuck, Phil and Faulkner.
I don't think Faulkner is at risk to not make them. I don't think. Phil is going to be fun to watch. Selfishly, I'd like to see him get a bad start, and just see him start mowing through people.
Right.
But I think Faulkner, I think is, he's plenty good to make his way in and not really have a problem.
I could see Faulkner on a podium. I really could.
Totally.
Totally. Okay. All right.
He's had another couple weeks to get better, and he's one of those guys that, dude, he has speed just in reserve, and he just needs some time to get healthy and build his confidence up. And outdoors ended, with a big crash, right? But he had some flashes there, and I believe he's been riding, so I could see him being a pretty consistently top 5 guy. It's a change of scenery in terms of the track, and everybody's sort of starting over a bit. It's not just another outdoor the next weekend that they've been in that rat race for a while. So I could see him come out and being good. He's going to struggle with gate pick,
right?
Coming out of the LCQ, but and then he's in the LCQ every round, so it's going to suck. Do we know what the second moto gate pick is?
Off result, yeah.
Okay, so if he can manage to get through in the first moto, at least he'll have a good gate pick, hopefully, for the second moto. But yeah, he can be good.
All right, let's take some phone calls. First up is Tristan. Tristan, what's up? What's your question for Charles Castloo?
Hey, so with there not being any whoops, shouldn't it be easier to come up with a setup right away to get comfortable, or do you think we're going to hear excuses after it's all said and done?
Well, Tristan, you'll always hear riders say, like, my setup. You're always going to hear that. It is, Chuck, I think from what I hear, teams are going to show up with their Supercross stuff and soften it, which, that's probably will be fine. That'll be enough,
Yeah, that's what I assume, but the caller has a good point that you're not having to go crazy stiff and all those things you normally do for a whoop section, and then you fight in the turns and the bumps and stuff that's going to develop on an outdoor style track. So I bet they find themselves softening stuff quite a bit, although you're still going to have those harsh, steep transitions for rhythm sections. So it's going to be a
lot of sand too.
Interesting setup.
Yeah, a lot of sand.
Like Steve said, they're going to complain about setup.
Yeah, Tristan, don't worry about that. Yeah, setup will be there will be complaints. So thanks for the call, man.
The third one, the end of second Moto at LA, there's still going to be complaints about SMX setup that they haven't figured out yet. So
Yeah, absolutely. Vertex pistons, manufactured in Italy. The cast and forged pistons are the premier choices for power and performance. Vertex is also an industry leader in manufacturing high-performance gaskets made right in the USA. Dirt bikes, ATV, UTV, snowmobiles, personal watercrafts, all of that stuff. The piston kits can save you time and money by combining all the components needed for the job in one convenient package. Thank you to the folks at Vertex. Decal Works, 100% Get, Plum Creek Funding, Maxis, all on board with us, and, of course, Fly Racing, flyracing.com. Austin's on one. He wants to talk about AC. What's up, Austin?
Hey, Steve. First time, long time.
Thank you.
Love the show.
Thank you.
Love what you're doing. Couple of questions. So AC's he's had a spot in my heart for a long time, and watching him throughout the summer, getting hole shots and constantly fading backwards towards the end of the moto. I know he spoke last week about him getting better as the season goes on. Do you see AC as maybe a surprise contender, having better results than what he had in the summer with these shorter motos?
I don't. Chuck, what do you think?
not necessarily. I mean, he ended the season getting a lot of sixths and sevenths and stuff, and maybe he gets some fifths. Maybe a fourth or two, which I think
really
he got
hoping
outdoors.
to see him podium.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
It's gonna be tough, man.
I mean,
yeah, there's maybe in a moto or maybe luck, gets in an overall, but
yeah,
and Jet's gonna be good. Chase is gonna be good. I mean, it's gonna be the same people he's been battling all summer, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't see it, Austin. I mean, I would love it, right? It'd be really cool. He won the Monster Cup, the last time we had it, 2019 or whatever. But yeah, I don't see it, man. I think that it's still 20 minutes. It's still, outdoor stuff, jumps, whoops, like sand whoops. And I don't know, man. I don't think any breakthrough has happened with his arm, Austin? So
Yeah, I know. I've seen him rip some bull shots this summer, and it would just be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, do you want a set of Fly Racing gear?
Sure thing.
All right. You won the kinetic mesh stuff. Yeah, I mean, you called the first time, long time. So let's just reward you for doing that with the kinetic mesh gear from Fly Racing. All right?
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I've been listening for 6 years. The first time I called in.
Oh, there you go. Thanks, and stay on hold. All right, we'll get your information from there.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. Brian is on 3. Brian, you have a suggestion for the SMX playoffs?
Yeah, with both of us being hockey fans and real playoffs, just like if we did something where this first one, we obviously have last chance qualifiers, they all show up, but then after this first race, 2 moto setup, then the last 5 are knocked out. And then the next race, same thing, next 5 are out. Well, in the last, LA Coliseum, you got 10 of the best riders, maybe doing like a 12-minute sprint of 2 motos, for the final payout.
Yeah, I mean, or we could just do what NASCAR does, where they eliminate the drivers, and then but everyone still races. And by the final round, you have 4 drivers who are up for the NASCAR title, but there's still 40 guys out there, racing, and we have a championship with that. Chuck, I've been ragging on Weigandt because he yells playoffs, constantly, and I'm like, there's nobody gets eliminated. Like, there's no playoffs. There's nothing, you just basically qualify for the playoffs, and then there is no elimination of these, so they're not really playoffs, Chuck.
Yeah, I've heard your rants, and I agree in the sense of the term and the meaning of playoffs, right? Like, it's nobody's getting eliminated. It's not like a head-to-head of the best people. Like, I guess it sort of is, but I like the caller's ideas.
Or like
side, right?
Chuck, or what do you think about just having never mind eliminating guys, which is what Brian is saying. How about just eliminating guys, virtually, and then at LA Coliseum we only have 4 riders going for it.
Yeah, I'm into that. I like it.
All right.
And there'll be people pissed off because then there's people in the race that aren't in the championship that affect the results. But whatever.
There's still money up for grabs for those guys. So maybe if you're Jason Anderson and you're out of it and Roxon is in it, maybe you don't go and T-bone him because you're like, he's actually racing for this title. So I don't need to T-bone him.
you might have picked a bad example there.
Okay,
I feel
oops,
like
yeah.
Anderson doesn't
All right.
really think like that, but
all right. I don't know, somebody else.
Yeah,
Thanks,
somebody
Brian,
else.
though. Brian, I get it, and I'm with you, and I think that would make it more interesting to me than what
Yeah,
they're
sure,
currently
I agree.
doing. But, like I said off the top with Weigandt, they've made changes to Triple Crown from the first version, and I think after year one of SMX, we'll see some changes.
Yeah. Well, that'd be cool.
All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank you.
man.
Appreciate it. Thanks for calling. So, Chuck, do we just, again, the cream rises to the top, and no matter what we're doing, is it just Jet and Hunter are the favorites?
I think they're favorites. I think Hayden's going to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
As we saw in the outdoors, he was had the speed at a lot of different times. So I think 450 class, I feel a whole lot more confident about saying Jet's the guy and going to win majority of them, if not all of them. At 250 class, I see a little more. I think there's going to be more parity because it's more outdoor style, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Hayden's going to be much more in the mix with Hunter than anybody else jumping in and disrupting Jet's season.
So if Jet
Chase
just sweeps these 6, do we just add it to the 22, or no?
No.
Okay.
No, but it's something to talk about, right? And it's fucking damn impressive. But no, I don't think it's we can't call them 28-0 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think that? And I was talking with Weege about this. It would be such a Kenny thing to come out and win the first moto.
Totally.
Right?
yeah, no problem. Yeah, and even someone like Anderson, he's, he could just randomly win one of these in the middle. He's, although outdoors I think didn't go as he hoped, right? Once he came back from injury, but still he's the kind of guy that just randomly has, his times where he's just better than everybody else. So he can stay out of trouble.
Yeah, absolutely right.
And have you heard if Cooper Webb's racing on a Yamaha? I don't know if anybody's asked you that yet.
No, nobody has.
It's
I see you follow my Twitter account. Fuck.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
it's. I don't know. I don't get it. Again, I've used this analogy a lot. I love hockey, and if I'm looking for news about a hockey story, I'll go to my favorite writer's Twitter, and I'll scroll down, and be like, Austin Matthews isn't playing tonight. I wonder what happened. Let me go to David Alter and scroll down his account, because surely he will have talked about this. Oh, look, yesterday David Alter said that Austin Matthews hurt his hand. But we don't do that in our sport. We just fucking ask the guy over and over and over. Does no one want to put any time in to actually learn something, Chuck?
That's just the state of the general population of people, right? You're more capable than the average person, right? You go, I can go figure this out myself. Most people don't do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's
even in places of business, right? You work with people and you're Google it, figure it out.
Yeah, just figure it out. It's not hard. All right, Charles Castloo from Stasek on the line, Fly Race and Moto 60 show. Chuck, give me your winners this weekend. Weege went Swole, and who do you say for these? Cooper Webb. So.
Okay. I feel pretty confident about beating Weege if we're going to keep score here.
Okay.
But I'm going to go Deegan and Jet.
Okay, fair enough. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Usually all summer
I didn't
long.
go out too far on the limb.
Yeah,
Didn't go out too far on the limb, but I didn't go Hunter Jet.
All summer long we got Hunter Jet all summer long, so I'm glad to hear somebody else say something. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to keep the Deegan fans from hating me.
It's not easy. I can vouch for that. They're everywhere.
I mean, you've swerved hard into this. You can't fault him for not doing Motocross the Nation.
No, I can't.
You put that sentence out there every time his name gets brought up, and I feel like you're still going to get people.
Yeah. Any rider that says they don't want to go, they don't want to spend their own money, they don't want to put in an extra 2 weeks of work for free, and they're going to compromise their rest and their Supercross prep, I understand. It makes sense. I'm not here to yell at anybody for that. I get it. All right, Chuck, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Are you going to Chicago? Are you going to L.A.?
I'm not going to any of these.
Okay.
But I'll be on the couch watching.
I thought we might see you at one of those last two.
No.
Maybe not. All right.
Yeah, I considered LA, but we're in the thick of the 7U football season here.
Okay, all right.
We're deep here.
All right, fair enough. I get it. Thanks for your time, Chuck. Appreciate it. Stasic.com, everybody. Check it out. Thank you, buddy.
All right.
All right, thanks. All right, everybody. That's a wrap. We're going to call a little early. I got a flight to catch. Tits has a tea time coming up. Fly Racing Moto 60 show. Thank you, Decal Works, Get, Vertex, Maxis, Plum Creek Funding, 100%, all on board with us. Tits, great job. It's like you never missed the beat.
Thank you for recognizing.
Yeah. Travis?
Yes.
Not bad. Yeah. Right?
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little weird when you call me Travis though.
Right. Right? Tits?
Yeah.
See you next week, everybody.